Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Wednesday edition of the Black and Gold Triple B show, the Triple B Black and Gold Dynasty show, where we're going to review the Steelers' huge Monday night victory. I know it's Wednesday. I know I should have done this yesterday, but things are happening here in my life. And I would like to do it out Wednesday because it gives everybody the sense of knowing what's going on in Steeler Nation a day after. Because there's a lot of stats and injuries and all that other stuff. So I just want to hurry up and get on to the Facebook, my Facebook live feed. Hopefully you guys got some questions like you always do on every episode I do of the Triple B Black and Gold Dynasty. Give me 1 second. And here we go. Shane, thanks for tuning in, brother. Special field correspondent Shade Stodmiller. Okay, guys. Prime time, Monday night. The Steelers, 24. The Colts, 17. That makes Mike Tomlin 19-3 on Monday night. Now, I understand and I love prime time also. And prime time is when the Steelers shine. Yo, Shane, yo. So let's just put it this way. The Steelers coming out and scoring like gang. They didn't do they didn't score touchdowns, but 4 out of 5 drives in the first half with field goals, they were scoring. They were up 16-3. Now, I am very happy about that. I mean, it was mostly 46% was Steelers fans. Hey, Buck, what's up? How you doing? I'm doing real well. Thanks for tuning in to the Triple B Black and Gold Dynasty. Hopefully you got some Steeler comments, Buck. You know what I mean? Just talk away. But let's just say that the Colts mustered 6 yards of offense through the first 22 minutes of that game. Shane says, are they going to get better, or is Indianapolis that bad? I believe it's kind of both, Shane. I believe that we had the luck going on our side Monday night. And they also had Matt Ryan, which I will get into some stats later on. Matt Ryan looked like a 95-year-old guy trying to play quarterback. He did not look like Natty Ice of Atlanta Falcons days. He looked old. He looked disheveled. He just didn't look like he even wanted to be there. That first half, I don't know what happened. He looked real bad. So the Steelers come out in the first half. Hi, Tricia. Thanks for tuning in. Greg, thanks for tuning in to the Black and Gold, Triple B Black and Gold Dynasty show, where we are going to review the huge win that made the Steelers go to 4-7, which it's very hard for me to say 4-7. Usually, the Pittsburgh Steelers are usually 7-4, not 4-7. Hey, Greg, how you doing? So I just want to say, let's just say that Mike Tomlin had to go against a coach who never coached before. Jeff Saturday, Hall of Famer, coached some high school football. But I just think that Jeff Saturday was a little bit gun shy, and a little bit of his inexperience might have cost the Colts a win on Monday night. So it's just sad, but hey, that's just the way it goes. The Steelers stats. Kenny Pickett is starting to mature and evolve into a quarterback. Hey, Steel, what's up, man? Give me your opinion, because I'm just getting to the Kenny Pickett stats. Give me your opinion on Kenny Pickett's Monday night performance. Now, his stats were 20 for 28 for 174 yards. He rushed the ball six times for 32 yards, and he had that huge 2-point conversion to George Pickens. Man, it was lightning. That was a good pass. But I do want to say he could have had more stats if Dante Johnson would have caught the ball. Hi, Cal. Thanks for tuning in to the Triple B Black and Gold Dynasty. Still gives him an A+. Hey, Louie, thanks for tuning in. Louie says poor time management at the end of the game by Indy cost them that victory. You're right, Louie. I thought we were going to definitely lose that. And Shane Stodmiller says Kenny is going through NFL puberty. I think the last 3 games, I'm very impressed with Kenny Pickett. No interceptions for the last 3 games. Hopefully I don't jinx them. But the thing about it, Steele, is he would have got more yards and he would have had that touchdown. He threw that touchdown pass to Dante, and Dante didn't catch it. But he was throwing to Dante coming out in the first quarter. They were giving him, right to Dante, and he was catching them. And then that one pass in the second quarter, I believe he caught the ball and went back 8 yards. Travis, thanks for tuning in. Kenny, he said Kenny did a pretty good job. I can see he's trying now. He's getting better as the games goes by. We are going to be okay with Kenny, and Pickens is a monster. Steele says the time management was poor for Indy, but they weren't scoring. Well, and I believe Steele, they got away from the run. If they would have run Jonathan Taylor more, it would have been bad. Well, that fumble too didn't help when they fumbled that ball. And Shane says, hi, Trisha. But yeah, I mean, they looked flat. The Colts looked flat in the first half. Now I know Matt Ryan, they threw that pick to James Pierre, but James Pierre was cutting off of his receiver and made a hell of an interception. And the thing is, though, like, I'm going to get to some stats, but I was impressed with Matt Wright kicking the ball. Hey, Sean, how you doing, Skin? Thanks for tuning into the Triple B Black and Gold Dynasty review of the Steelers' big game win over the Colts. Like, Matthew Wright had a 45-yard field goal, a huge 52-yard field goal, and a 25-yard field goal. So right now he was 3 for 3, but Boswell, I don't know when he's going to be coming back anytime soon. So, and Trisha says, hey, Shane. Hey, Alan, how you doing? Thanks for tuning in. I just want to say, to get to some stats, like the rushing of the Steelers, the last couple games have been on par. They've been great. Like, they had 170 some yards in this game, I believe. Now the thing is that worries me is I do like Najee Harris. Now, Najee Harris left the game with an abdominal injury, and I've read some stuff where he might play Sunday, but I'll know more come Friday when I do the preview of the Falcons games Friday night, because I have nothing going on and I don't go out anymore to bars anymore. I just do podcasts about Steelers. Steele says, can they please fire their special teams coach? I believe, Steele, and you can quote me, you can ask me, or you can write down, do you think all the players that were playing on Monday night's game, all the special teams guys, because they were on special teams, but now they were playing, do you think that was a deciding factor on how the Colts got over 200 yards on return yardage? Travis says, we got to do better in the third quarter. I don't know what happened, but we slowed down until the fourth quarter. We need to practice on special teams. Well, we don't have a good return, and they just didn't tackle. And that brought the fire for the Colts in that second half. Well, they made adjustments. The Pittsburgh Steelers do not make adjustments at half, and I don't know what they do at halftime. I know Steele said about it numerous times that he's been on a show talking about. Hey, Boothie, thanks for tuning in. Yeah, they just don't make adjustments. And realistically, we get the ball in the second half, it's 3 and out. It's been 3 and out most of the year, probably 99.9% of the time. The third quarter is not our best quarter. It's probably it's been poor most of the season. Yeah, you're exactly right, Steele. I don't know what Matt Canada does. I know a lot of people probably give Matt Canada a passing grade for his coaching performance for Monday night. I still think Matt Canada fucking sucks. But Boothie says Jalen Warland's going to help this week. Yeah, he's supposed to play. Yeah. But actually, everybody, McFarland, come on. He looked good. Look at, Najee left the game. He had 10 carries, 35 yards, and a touchdown, and I believe he was looking good. And I was looking at, I want to see him get 100 yards. He was looking really, really good, and he got down with that oblique injury. And Benny Snell led all Steelers rushing with 12 carries and 62 yards and 1 touchdown. So coaching staff needs a complete haul, Steele says. I'm not disagreeing with you, Steele. Chris Ward, thanks for tuning in to the Triple B Black and Gold Dynasty Show. Thank you very much. We're going to be we're talking about Monday night's game. And if you have any questions, Chris, just I'll read them off of Facebook, man, like I do every show. And I appreciate everybody for tuning in. Yeah, I would be happy. I think Flores, Steele says Harris was still under 4 yards of carry. I think he was 3.7, I believe, Steele. But he looked good. He looked good. He looked really good. I think we need to get rid of Dan Moore. Dan Moore sucks. If it's not 3 penalties off Dan Moore that are killing drives, I don't know what is. I did see sightings of Gunnar Osowski in the first quarter. I don't know if you guys did too. They played a lot of players. Derek Watt now is 4 for 4 on 4th and 1. Yeah, Booth, Snell did very well. He needs to because he lost his job. We're not going to keep everybody on. Dan Moore is terrible still. I can't agree. I can't disagree more. I wish they get rid of him, and I hope they sign a rookie in the off season when they draft. I hope they draft a tackle. That's what I want to see. Shane Studmiller. Which WWE superstar will pop in tonight? Oh, I don't know. Maybe I hope. I don't have any idea. That was cool though. Hey, Lynn, thanks for tuning in to the Triple B Black and Gold Dynasty, and I appreciate everybody for tuning in. And if you guys have any questions about Steeler comments, about what you saw in the game, I will get it out. I will read it. We'll discuss it. I'll give you some facts that I got from Monday night's game as I go through some stats. Louis Sacca says, saw a difference between Snell and Harris. Harris bounced around in the backfield. Snell hits the hole. Yeah, but Louis has you could say this, that Najee has been running a lot more with purpose now. I mean, I know I get scared when he does those leapfrogs, and he scored that touchdown doing that, but he's actually been, I think he's had like 190 yards in the last 2.5 games. Steele said the latest predictions have Tim taking a quarterback with the first draft. I hope not. And I'm going to tell you right now, Steele, if that quarterback, they're looking for that quarterback, they're probably going to draft fucking Joey Porter's kid from Penn State. Booth says, why the hell do our receivers catch the ball and then go backwards? I don't know. And it was Dante Johnson. Hi, Lisa. Thanks for tuning in to the Triple B Black and Gold Dynasty show. Now, George Pickens, I believe, my personal opinion, is the number 1 receiver in the Steelers organization right now. Well, no, I hope not. I hope they don't draft Joey Porter's kid, but I believe they will. I hope not. We need linemen. We have enough skilled players in these skilled positions. That would be great. George Pickens had 3 receptions, 57 yards. He caught that 2-point conversion on his knees. Was great. And he had a huge 35-yard spectacular catch. Now, he missed a couple. Nobody's perfect, guys. But I do believe he is the number 1 receiver in the Steelers organization right now. And a little bit below him is Pat Freiermuth. And I'm okay with that because I do like a good tight end. Travis Kelce can catch every fucking ball thrown to him and score touchdowns. Why can't Pat Freiermuth? So you got Pickens, you got Freiermuth. Robbie, thanks for tuning in. They should have never paid Dante Johnson, and they shouldn't, never. He's still without a touchdown. He hasn't scored a touchdown since last January. Terrible. But speaking of Dante Johnson, he had 5 receptions, 49 yards. And he dropped that touchdown in the end zone. Steele says they can't draft a cornerback. Last one was Ike Taylor, hands of stone Ike Taylor. Agree, Pickens is the number 1. Well, thanks for agreeing with me, Steele. I feel honored. I try to know something doing this stuff. I do try. But like I said, Dan Moore, I have a little big star on my paper. Dan Moore is fucking terrible. And it's a shame because Dan Moore played Myles Garrett in the Ben's last game, and he shut out Myles Garrett, no sacks. But he didn't have nobody had any sacks on him, but he's terrible, and he gets called for a lot of penalties. Robbie says the Steelers need a cornerback first, then O-line. I don't know, Robbie. I think we need a tackle. We need a big tackle. We need a cornerback, and we need a defensive lineman. Boothie says you are correct. We have the skill players, linemen, and corners. Yeah, I mean we could have. I don't know where we're going to be because there's been speculation, Steeler Nation, that the Pittsburgh Steelers have a shot to make it to the playoffs. Like I don't know, it went from the 1% 2 weeks ago up to 7.5 to 12. I don't know. They got 6 more games to go. I just want to take one day, one game at a time, one day at a time, and I just want to see the maturity of Kenny Pickett. If nothing else this season, seeing Kenny Pickett get mature and blossom into a top 10 quarterback in the NFL. Some have compared him to Joe Montana in sports, Pittsburgh sports writing. Steele says tackle, guard, cornerback, DL. Robbie said Steelers have a bunch of slot cornerbacks right now. Well, we don't have a shutdown corner. I wish they would have kept Joe Hayden for another year. I know he's old, but experience is real good. Jeff Booth, come on, Boothie. I don't know. I don't know about that. I say we could split against Baltimore. Boothie says, for you guys that can't read this, Booth says we'll lose both Baltimore games. We will lose both Baltimore games, and we have a chance. I split. I'll go splitting. But Lamar Jackson Booth plays shitty against the Steelers. That's our only golden nugget. And maybe he'll be hurt by then. Who knows? And maybe Kenny Pickett, like I said, will be very, very mature and will not be playing like last 3 games. He hasn't played like a rookie. He's not losing us games. No INTs. No INTs. Well, the Steelers defense had 2 sacks. I'm going to defense now. One was one from Highsmith. So Highsmith has a total of 10 quarterback sacks going into the season. Let's hope. Yeah, I know. I'm hoping every day, brother. Every day I hope. I pray. And then the one other sack was Arthur Millette. Steele says, split with the Ravens, 9-7, no playoffs. Yeah, that's probably what's going to because we lost those early games where we should have won. Bush sucks, Boothie says. Shane says, depends if TJ has a good night, if they get some help from the offensive side. Well, speaking of TJ Watt, Shane, TJ Watt only had 1 fucking tackle. You didn't hear TJ Watt's name at all. 9-8. 9-8 still says. Yeah, sorry. 9-8. So, yeah, he had 1 tackle. And James Pierre, like I said, had that 1 great interception. And realistically, they should have been hungry enough to sack Matt Ryan because they had some inexperienced tackles and we only got 2 sacks. Yeah, crickets. So let's get to some our defense. Our defense held Jonathan Taylor to 20 rushes, 86 yards, and a touchdown. He had 3 receptions for 12 yards. They played him pretty good because if he would have started churning, we'd have been in some serious trouble. That fumble did not help. That handoff fumble, they probably would have ran it in with him. Roger, thanks for tuning in to the Triple B Black and Gold Dynasty, where we're reviewing Monday night's big, huge Steeler victory to get them to the lovely 4-7. Robbie says, I had the Steelers finishing 10-7 before the season started. I had them 12-15, Robbie. I think I was high on crystal meth. Did like 7 blows of coke. But I wanted them to beat the New England Patriots so bad. And ever since they lost to the Patriots and the Jets, it's been a somber year. You know what I mean? For me, I did. And I honestly, there's some games that, like Buffalo and I took them to beat Cincinnati. The 2 games where they really truly didn't show up was the Philly and Buffalo game. But as we know, going into the half, they never show up in the half. So, like, quarterback Matt Ryan didn't do shit in the first half. He finished 22 for 34, 199 yards, 1 touchdown, and 1 interception. And believe me, if he would have ran that scramble and got the first down and Saturday would have called a timeout, we'd have been talking a little bit differently maybe, where Bill Cowher would have had to eat his words, where Jeff Saturday with no coaching experience just beat the Steelers on Monday night. Steele said Indy's tackle ate Watch's lunch. Yeah, I think that was a rookie. But I'm going to tell you guys what, Steele, and you might agree with me or disagree. I think TJ's still hurt. If you guys he's not, I don't think he's 100%, which I didn't think he would be. Maybe he's just out there just to, because it's TJ Watt and maybe get a double team to help maybe Highsmith out. Maybe. I didn't hear a lot of the defensive linemen, even though they held, Taylor to 86 yards. But he was churning. He wouldn't have fumbled that ball. I'm telling you, it'd been a different game. And if if Matt Ryan would have got that first down, they had 3 timeouts. It had been totally different because in the third quarter, the Steelers' offense was inept. And Matt Canada, I don't know what he does when he scripts the first plays in the first half and scripts the same plays in the second half. Everybody knows it's coming. Matt Canada, you need to change it up. Not with that title injury like that. Steele says, yeah, he's not 100%. The tackle is a rookie. Well, that's not good. So the Colts tackle is a rookie, and TJ Watt is the defensive player of the year, even though he's not 100%. But even fucking 80%, he should have got a sack and did a little bit more than what he did. Travis says, I think he is too. I was just being all quiet about it till someone else noticed it because I seen him move and he wasn't himself. Yeah, like I said, and only having 1 tackle. Now, maybe when the first game he come back, he was all pumped up against the Saints. Yeah, and maybe it's just he's not 100% and whatever. Jeff Watt's brother uses fullback, could help down the line even as a fake. Well, like I said before, Booth, good old Derek Watt, $9.7 fucking million. So he's probably $2.5 million on 4th and 1, getting them first downs. He's 4 for 4. So they're using him a little more than they ever used the fullback before. But I'm glad they didn't do a little shovel pass to a tight end for a yard. Matt Canada, no jet sweeps. They just, like I said, Osowski, Gunner was in there. Gunner made a good block on the Benny Snell touchdown. Wait, no, on the Najee Harris touchdown. He made a block on one of those touchdowns. I can't fucking remember, but he made a hell of a block on that touchdown. That I think it was the Benny Snell one. You guys might remember a little bit more than me. I had a couple concussions in my life, but I believe Gunner had a nice block, and I know he fucked up in the Patriots game, but I thought he was going to be something with the Steelers because there's always Wes Walker type individuals out there. We need some good possession receivers. Hey, Jimmy Tiger, thanks for tuning in. Host of the Steelers Realm podcast. What's going on? Okay, Steele, I thought it was the Snell touchdown. I wasn't sure, or Najee's, because Najee's ran right. That was that. I mean, Najee, I like that touchdown. I like Snell's touchdown, but I cannot believe that we can't get some receivers. They need to fire their receivers coach. I'm doing good, bud. How you doing? Like you said, Steele, the Steelers organization and coaching need to clean house. Move Flores from linebacker to the defensive coordinator, because I don't think anybody is going to touch him due to this legal situation that he has. The Steelers, the backup kicker is doing decent, Boothie. He got 3 field goals. He had one of 52 yards. But I don't know when Boswell is coming back. The Boss is always my Triple B player of the game, But, I mean, the Steelers have to find a way to start driving in the second half. These 3 and outs, they're probably astronomical. Probably the last 3 games, maybe been 7 times they've been 3 and out in the second half. That cost them a lot. That cost them the Cleveland game, Miami. I mean, other stuff does, but they stall. They're offensively stalling in the third quarter. But honestly, too, they used to stall in the fourth quarter. And if it wasn't for Kenny taking the reins and getting them down there to get them that winning touchdown, I mean, that was Kenny leading a drive, which was good because he gets that underneath his experience. And the last 3 games, Kenny, like right now, if Kenny keeps doing this, I believe he could be looking for a Rookie of the Year candidate if the Steelers start winning a little bit more games. Shane says, you jinx Boswell after your reward, his groin tighten up. Maybe. I don't know. I mean, it happens, man. It happens. I try not to jinx people. Hi, Maria. Thanks for tuning in. Justin Johnson, thanks for tuning in to the Triple B Black and Gold Dynasty show, where we're reviewing the Steelers' big, huge win on Monday night, where you see me twice a week with a review and a preview. I'm about 3 or 4 videos away of my 200 videos or 200 podcasts or whatever we do here on the Triple B Experience. This Steeler season has been just a roller coaster ride, and it's not going to end because every game is something. I cannot say I will give Steelers stats on winning and stuff later on when I give predictions. My prediction was close. I gave 23-17 Pittsburgh. I was 1 point off. Somebody told me that the other day. But I can't win a Powerball number to save my life. So that's how it goes. But let's just say, like I said, the Steelers defense held the Colts to 71 yards on the first half. Jim Tiger, Cower always says the two most important possessions are the first of the game and the second possession of the second half. I couldn't agree more to Cower Power. Because realistically, when you get the ball in the second half, you want to add more points. Our problem is we're offensively inept to actually go and do high scoring games. Like last week, we scored 30, which by the grace of God. But actually, the Colts defense was 5th in statistics. They were not a bad defense. They were not. I'll take it. But honestly, they had a 3,900-year-old quarterback of natty ice, and he was robotic worse than RoboCop. 3 and outs do not work, Jim Tiger. You are so correct. And that's probably the play calling and the scripted plays that Matt Canada does when everybody knows. Like somebody in the 5th section of 509 knows that it is what it is. You know? It's crazy. It is so crazy. But hopefully Matt Canada will run out to the pasture here. Hopefully, I hope. But let's get to because I try to do, because I know you guys are busy with other stuff in your life, and I truly appreciate everybody for tuning in to the Triple B Black and Gold Dynasty and popping on this. But let's get to the Triple B Player of the Game. Now, we got a lot of candidates, and I'm going to go through these, and you guys can give your picks for the Triple B on the Facebook. I'm okay with that. I'll read them off. But I have a lot of candidates for the Triple B Player of the Game. My first one is Benny Snell with that performance because he just was special teams. Quarterback, Kenny Pickett, leading the drive. Kicker, Matt Wright, kicking 3 field goals. Receiver, George Pickens with some great catches and a 2-point conversion. Linebacker, Highsmith with some sacks and a couple tackles. And cornerback, Anthony Moulette, who had 1 sack and 5 tackles. Now, let me get back to reading some. Jim Tiger says, so Bidanu, the word came out that Pickett called the Snell touchdown. Oh, well, it wasn't a Canada calling it. So, okay. Steele says, one time I would like to see them go deep on first. Shane says Pickens. He picks Pickens. I'm going to go with my Triple B Player of the Game because they actually he didn't start. He didn't start. Pickett, Snell, Highsmith, great picks. But I know you love Steele. I know you love fucking Kenny Pickett like no other. And I like him too. I mean, I still wanted to draft the nose tackle Jordan Davis, but look, hey, today they're fucking telling him that he's the next coming of Joe Montana. Jim Tiger says James Pierre. That's not a bad pick. I'm going to go with a guy who come off the bench because Najee got hurt because McFarland was taking over for Warren's spot. I'm going to go with Benny Snell. I can only pick one. I'm picking one. I'm going to pick Benny Snell coming off the bench and getting the 62 yards and a touchdown. And I think you also need him on special teams because a lot of special teams guys, they couldn't tackle for shit, and our special teams are terrible. Bazooka Joe better chew some more bubble gum. Over 200 yards of special teams returns. Unheard of. And we're coming up on the Atlanta Falcons, and they got a good special teams. So we shall see because I'll talk about that Friday. That's what she said. Well, Shane. McFarland ran well too. Yeah, McFarland ran well too early. Yeah, he did. It was like every running back from committee, which was great, which is good, and we needed that. But hopefully Najee plays. I know Najee. Everybody's saying he's a bust. He's this and that. I don't believe he's 100%. Thanks for laughing, Booth. I don't think he's 100%, but I do like Najee Harris. He's good for the community. He's not a troublemaker. and he's had some hard times in his life, and he's a survivalist, and he's a tough cookie. I just don't think he's 100%. I just wish he would quit hurling people. And he's close to 600 yards, and I don't know if he's going to get 1,000 yards. If I just want to see him get 1,000 yards, I like to see him get 1,000 yards. I would like to see Kenny Pickett get a couple more wins and some touchdowns under his belt to mature for next season, and we're ready to go to actually compete in the AFC North and then tell everybody they can go fuck off. That's what I want to see. Shane says, "Can you come and decorate our house too?" Steele says, "Because they had one cut and go. Najee bounces around too much." I know you're the second person to say that tonight. I know he does. He's not as smooth as Le'Veon Bell, because Le'Veon Bell cut and juked, he was gone. He was like a precision surgeon. I know, but I like Najee. I liked him when he drafted him. I don't think we needed to draft him number 1, but we could have got him number 2. And really, running backs are a dime a dozen. But actually, so are receivers. And there's a lot of receivers that. And Shane says, sure. But yes, I gave my triple B player is Benny Snell. He come in, did what he had to do, and he reminded me of that Monday night game against the Giants when he rushed for over 100 yards. That was good, and I thought it was going to be the Benny Snell show for a while, but that wasn't the case. So maybe he has a little bit of life left on life support, being a Steelers running back, in this committee stuff with Najee being not 100%. But anyway, guys, I appreciate everybody for tuning in to the Triple B Black and Gold Dynasty. Great questions as always. This is the only podcast that does this. Jimmy says Shell ran well too. Benny Snell ran well too. Snell. Oh my God, I can't even talk. Yes, he did. Snell ran well too. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. I try to do these shows. I'm going to do Friday with the review of the Falcons game. Because I don't do too much on a Friday night anymore because I'm not 21 and I don't need to be boozing. I can drink here at the house, and it's probably – thank you, Jimmy. And if anybody's listening, listen to the Steelers Realm podcast show. They also go twice a week. And they review, I think their show, Jimmy, I think your show's tomorrow. I think tomorrow they will review the game. And I don't like to – because if I know they're on and I don't want to do back-to-back. I like to do it. What time Friday? Probably about 8 o'clock still, maybe 8:30 because I got nothing to do because I got to go try to lose some weight in the gym. Yeah. Oh, shit. It's going to be a long, long time. But, yeah, I don't like to – those guys, I think, do Mondays. I try to do either Wednesdays or Tuesdays. So I know they do Tuesdays. And I just don't like to compete with the other podcasts because it takes away. So I try to do – and I can do Fridays now because my Fridays are open. And then thanks, Booth. Because Thursdays we try to do unscripted where we do the pulp culture stuff. I know some of you guys, enjoy that, and other people like the Steeler talk. I try to be great at both because I know get some bub, get some what? Some booze or some wings, Booth. What about unscripted? I'm going to wait for my boys, hopefully pretty soon. Jim Tiger says Mondays and Thursdays typically. So the Steelers Realm podcast are Mondays and Thursdays typically. And then my shows are I usually do Wednesdays and I usually do Fridays on mine because I don't want to compete because that's just, it's like having a wrestling show in the same town. Fuck, who wants to fucking, you know what I mean? You could listen to everything. And I listen to those guys when I lift. They know their Steelers shit. So, and I don't know about an unscripted, but we are going to be working towards a year-round and special show where we're going to do the best of sports moments, best movies, best of all that shit. 2022. Off the Rails directly after every Steeler game for Steelers Realm with the Freight Train. And the Freight Train's been my guest a couple times on here. He has a show right after every game. You guys can tune into that and catch the real responses after the game. I used to do that. I used to get all drunk and on all the F words would be slimering and slabbering all over the screen. But hey, I appreciate everybody for tuning in. TJ's game is Saturday afternoon at 4 o'clock. Thank you, Cal. Yes, God bless my nephew TJ. Is playing in a Senior Bowl Division III College Senior Bowl. Congratulations, TJ. That's fucking awesome. Hi, Ken. Sorry. That's okay. And Jim Tiger says Shelby. Now, I might be pronouncing this. Casanese, she's from, I believe, The Fan. And KDKA will be joining the Steelers Realm podcast on December 22nd, which is going to be the anniversary of the Immaculate Reception. So I just want to say, like I said, my sister told me my nephew TJ is playing in the Senior Bowl in Division III college, and like I said, TJ, congratulations, thank you, Cal. I will be back Friday night. Hey, no problem, Jimmy. It's all about helping everybody out, and I try to do that. I really do. You guys got a great podcast, and you guys get some great guests, and it's all Steelers, and you guys, we do MegaCast together. And it's all one big Steeler Nation family. So anything I can do to help you guys out, I try. And I try to do that to everybody that's as a business or doing whatever. Actually, right now, Bob's Pizza from Ted. If you're living in Indiana County, get a slice of Bob's Pizza in Wapaho. That's the best deal in Indiana. That's the best deal in town. I can get 5 slices, a Wapaho, and a root beer for $11, and you can't beat that anywhere. You can't beat that anywhere. And also, if you need beer, you go to Alley Cat Beverage in Clymer, Pennsylvania, and you tell Diesel that fucking Triple B sent you, because the holidays are coming. Cheers to everybody. I appreciate everybody. I'll see you guys Friday. I will hit replay. If you haven't come on earlier and you want to catch the whole show, I replay it all the time. Shane says he had a slice Tuesday. Yeah. Hey, I appreciate it too, brother. Hey, I love everybody for tuning in. I love everybody. Thank you for all your comments. Steele, thanks as always. Booth, thank you. Thank you, guys. Everybody. Shane, everybody, thank you. I'll see you guys Friday. Hey, Chris, thanks for tuning in. You're going to have to catch the replay, brother. Steelers, Triple B Black and Gold Dynasty. Woo! Okay. I'll see you, Booth. Friday night, you guys can drink beer and listen to me talk Steeler football. Friday nights, it ain't like it used to be. We're not going to kegger parties out in the woods anymore. Friday nights, you're going to be listening to me talk Steeler football. As crazy as it sounds. Okay, everybody. Thank you. Have a great night, and I will see everybody Friday. I will post it on my Facebook to let everybody know when I'm going on. Sometimes, Steele, you never know in my life. It's so busy, you never know what the hell's going on. But I want to be out. I want to have it out Friday at 8 o'clock because everybody got other stuff to do. They don't need to listen to me all night. This has been a long one. Woo, 37 minutes. I'm winded. I'm out of breath. Okay, everybody. Peace out. See ya.